Hi, Tim Qualls. Welcome here to Round Town. I'm excited because this is about green. When you're talking about green, saving energy, standing beside me over here, Dave, Horizon. I get that right?
Yes, Horizon Services.
Yeah, and this, of course, Peter from PJ Fitzpatrick and things. How are you?
I'm good.
You guys are stepping up to the plate, you know, as far as business guys doing what's good for the community. Because I speak of green, and what do you haven't done? I mean, you've got yours completed here.
Well, one of the things we've been doing for a long time is we've been saving people energy on insulated windows and siding. So now we're kind of taking care of our own complex here and installing solar panels, which is we're buying them locally, so we're keeping local people working, and we're saving some energy.
Yeah, when you're talking about that, Dave, because I mean that's the future. And you guys,
Absolutely.
I mean, it takes business guys like yourself, because I'd like to do it on my house and everything else, but a lot of people say, well, I don't know, you know, what's it going to be in the future. You guys are kind of the test market, if you will, but at the same time, something that's already proven to work.
Yes, there are some systems installed around. These are two of the larger systems in Delaware. They're great systems, going to save us about a third of our energy, electric energy, and going to reduce our carbon emissions.
Yeah, and then you with the Horizon, you got to be familiar with all the electric and all that. You know how that all works, and you know, as we go and oil's getting harder and harder to get, it all comes from that.
That's right, absolutely. Anything we can do to reduce our dependence on foreign oil is the right thing to do.
Yeah, and you guys are just stepping up to the plate. I just think it's tremendous. I want people to know, because there's some things there available for folks right now. You know, you've got, first of all, the state stepping up and helping pay for a little bit of it.
Absolutely. The state has a great program. 50% of the cost of the system is a grant from the state. Another 30% from the federal government. Leaves you 20% for you to pay, for the electric to pay back. And that's going to be about a 4-year payback. And 25% return on your investment. It's pretty darn good.
And then from there, I understand. I want to be sure I understand this right. After you pay it back and it starts generating, then you can start supplying back to the company, the electric companies, and they can supply to my house as well.
That's correct. That's correct. And the federal government, as Mike Castle talked about that, where they have a tax credit where you can save. It's another 25%, 30% from the federal government. So between the federal and the state, they really make it easy to step up.
Yeah, so if you're a business or a homeowner, because I guess this applies not just to the businessman, but if the homeowner out there can step up and get that same program, I believe.
Absolutely. And this new $750 billion package that they just put together is it's got the residential incentives for homeowners.
Yeah, so there's not a better way. Dave, I want to thank you for stepping up, and of course Peter for doing the same thing. And I want to keep track of this as it goes on over the years, because you guys are all about, like as Peter said earlier, saving energy. And once again, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you there, Peter.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, I want to get away from those guys. I want to get to one of the important guys, and once again, Congressman Mike Castle here with me. You got to be excited about what's taking place, and I see the technology that's coming, and that's kind of where I see our growth going, and more technology in this area. And this is just one step up with the solar.
Well, first of all, this is a very large installation that is going on at these two firms. Secondly, it's a win-win situation in terms of reduction of energy purchases from overseas, the conservation that we have in the country. Ultimately, I think costs as you go to solar energy, but it's important to remember that these solar panels were built in Delaware as well.
That's what I was going to go to. So I heard you. Of course, we got to see you, and we'll show these folks here in a minute as you did your little speech there. But you were talking about it's a win-win-win situation, because it's a threefold win. You got two companies, and then the solar panels right here, all in the state of Delaware.
Absolutely correct. And they will find, because of tax credits that we were able to provide in Washington, because of various benefits the state can provide, that the return's going to be very fast on this. Businesses can do this. They should be looking at it carefully. I want Delaware to become a leader in the alternative sources of energy, and this is a big step in that direction.
Well, I want people to understand, because I've known you since I've been in the state now since '89 when I first met you, and you were governor at that point, I believe. And you've always, I mean, you're all about Delaware, you know, and it's nice to have that, because we always say, I don't like taxation, we're at representation. And I feel through you, that's the one thing that we got going. You're always looking not only to generate money and things and make Delaware better, but the entire country. I mean, the quarter was a big success. And I know now with you behind what you're doing here, this is just going to grow, and everybody can get involved with it.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's happening around the country. We're reading about the alternative sources of energy. But why can't Delaware be the leader? Why can't we take that solar energy panel plant in Newark and make it the biggest in the country. Why can't we be the ones that they point to and say this is a state that's really taken the lead in terms of dealing with alternative sources of energy? I believe that Delaware can go right to the top.
Yeah, I like that, man. He gets that energy, but that's what I like about you. You're always there for Delaware and standing behind it, looking at the growth of Delaware, and you have since you've been in the office there. This is just another step, but this is a very big step because I want folks to know. I said it earlier. This is not just for businesses. There's homes out there. You got things right now that you can do this at your home and still get those same breaks that the government's offering right now.
Oh, that's absolutely correct. These tax credits and these breaks do pertain to homes for the most part. That means that you reduce your overall capital costs of installing this equipment. People will find that it works just as your electric supply does now, and you're ultimately going to save money and feel that you're contributing to being part of the solution. So we should all be thinking about it.
Yeah, and one of the things everybody's thinking about right now, because it's election time, I know you're going to be there in continued success. I mean, you've done a great job for us, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And before we go get out of here, it's important, that everybody understand what solar panels are all about. I'm standing here with John Weldon. Now, John, you represent the solar panels and the whole works.
Yeah, our company, Trinity Solar from New Jersey, was contracted to do the work at both of these buildings. Of course, we're using GE panels, made in Delaware. We're their dealer of choice in North America, so we have a really good relationship with them. And we do an awful lot of work with the Delaware, whether it be business or residential. The Delaware state rebates are just phenomenal at 50%. And when you couple that with the federal tax credits and the depreciation that's allowed, it's a win-win situation for everybody.
And then we haven't even talked about the energy savings. I mean, everybody's not talking about everything else, but one of the things we hadn't mentioned is you no longer are paying for your electric in most cases, as long as the sun shines.
Well, for sure, you're going to save an awful lot off your electric bill. That's something that will happen with everybody. It doesn't matter what the size of the system is. You're going to realize an electric savings. And at today's rates, there's nothing better out there than solar. It's clean, it's efficient, and it's cost effective. We're real excited about it. I have the distinction of getting up every morning and going to work and selling something that gives back to the consumer every day of the year. So it's a great thing that I do.
Yeah, I always say I like it when I like what I'm doing for a living. And right now you got to be loving what you're doing for a living. This is some commercial job applications that you're looking at on the boards here. But don't forget about it for your home and everything. And I guess contact you guys. You contact the local guy here in Delaware, or how does that go? Who should we get in touch with?
Well, they can contact us at Trinity Solar Systems in Freehold, New Jersey. Our phone number is 732-780-3779.
And we'll put that on the screen for everybody. John, we thank you for your time. I know it's been a busy day for you, and you definitely want to have a piece of cake with our congressman before he gets out of here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to have a piece of cake.
Yeah, and right now we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for more of Around Town.